Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Let's wait for a couple of minutes so others can join, then we'll start.
Yes. So, so,
Yes, tell me.
so I was going to upload my file in Moodle, but I couldn't. Some server problem or something like that.
Yes, yes. So you can mail me. You can mail me the file. That's fine.
Okay, okay.
Morning, sir.
Very good morning. Just give me a minute. I'll open my file. Okay. Let's start with a new empty level. So today I'll explain a couple of things like that landscape we started other day. So like you can use a terrain maps, this kind of maps. You can see a terrain height map I search for, and you can use that and generate a terrain with the help of this also. So let's see, like to create a landscape, it's become super easy if you have something like this. It makes your life way easier. Let's see, this looks pretty decent size. Save image and desktop. I saved. So this usually this terrain map format is PNG, because Unreal for terrain map it reads PNG format. You cannot use any other format. So first to create my scene, obviously I need a direction light, one skylight, and fog, height fog, and fog first. That's it.
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning. This is my basic setup of my Unreal. So atmospheric fog, exponential height fog, direction light, and sky. These are like basic four things you need to have your scene no matter what. Yes, direction light. If it's a night scene, I can change it to a moonlight or something. I can reduce the intensity, or I can delete it also. That's depending upon the like requirement. But rest of things are required. So now, suppose I want to generate a terrain. So go to landscape. So by default, some material is connected here. So I'll just remove this. So I'll show you how to create this landscape material also. The landscape material works entirely differently. So right now I have downloaded that file. So I can switch to import from file, not create new, and browse that file wherever you have desktop, this one. So it reads PNG file, open, and it will show you a preview. This is a rough preview. This is not the accurate one. And now I can select all the quads and everything, or fit to data. I can do this also. By default fits everything, and hit import. Now this will generate this terrain based on the map I have imported. See, so a middle mouse button and WARSD to rotate and move, you can do that. You can see it creates this terrain and it looks pretty nice. We have this nice cliff and this, I guess, river or something, waterfall or something there. So now this thing is ready, but I want to modify something. So I can, what I can do, I can go to manage, or I can exit this thing, select it, R. I feel the height is too much. So you can see if I try to modify the height, it doesn't work because I have to modify the height before bringing it here, like changing anything. So undo, it's gone. Landscape, it's selected. Now I have to reduce the intensity, height, import. So you can see now it's way better. It gives me nice terrain. This is like, I believe, a river or something, and this I have this mountains. So it looks pretty nice and clean and smooth. So like this, we can create terrain very easily, super easily. But this terrain doesn't have any texture, and still this terrain is editable. If I want to edit something, I can use any of this tool and generate whatever I want to generate. Suppose I need some specific things, I can generate it here very easily. So but now I need some texture for this. So to create texture, you can see I have to create texture for this thing. So how do I do it? Go to select mode, exit this mode, go to content, and now I want to create material, a landscape material, and landscape material are not the same, it's little different. So let's see, right click, create a material. This is my mat underscore landscape, double click, open. I just changed the name. So I just changed the name, nothing fancy. Open and snap it here, so it will become full screen, just the landscape material. So for to create landscape material, I need to have multiple textures. Like I need to have like rocks, I need to have like your grasslands, or maybe moss, or maybe your pebbles, or all those things. So I need to have multiple textures. So I already have imported a lot of textures from Megascan. Let's see, you can see surface, and there are tons of textures that I have already downloaded. So let's identify a few textures and then use them. And if you want, you could directly export it from Megascan also. That also works without any problem. So you can see this is like some forest ground. So it's because this green, this thing, I need it. Diffuse, this is albedo, normal, roughness. And this is basically, if you want to have more control here, I'll just open this section, show you. It have multiple channels. Blue channel, like some you want to control few things, dirt and all this thing, intensity to reduce, increase. For that, you can use it and generate all this thing. So this is like ORM map we create, right? Something like that only. So as of now, that not required. I can just simply use these three. Drag, drop it into a material, and these are like 4K maps, so it will taking little time. So whenever you open, like click any image and try to drag it, it basically loads, so it takes little time. Quickly, quickly. See, too much time. Drag drop here. So now just align them nicely. Diffuse here, normal somewhere here. Give them a little gap. Keep this somewhere here. So three textures, keep them wide apart, and then go back and search for other texture. Like this is only grass, forest ground. Now, like for cliffs and cliff and all, I need some uh, some like something like this rocky texture or something. I need that, so I need to create. So let's see. We have, oh, that's both looks s- almost same only actually. Okay. Anyways, select your albedo, normal, roughness. Same thing, drag drop. And this is not vertex paint. This is, I'll show you with the help of this. I can paint all this texture. You can see we have two different textures here. So align them nicely. Remember the sequence. So this is my ground grass ground. This is my cliff rock. Same thing, grass, this forest ground and rock, ground and rock. Now I need maybe some moss or mossy texture or something else, or I want to blend something. This looks pretty nice. I can use this also. So there is no limit. I can have like maybe for 5, 6, 4, 10 textures in one landscape material. And then I can paint it wherever I want or wherever I need. I can paint it there. All three. Oh, albedo, normal, roughness. You just move them down. And if I want more textures, I can go and check. And this is a moss. If I want, I can use that, or some rock or something. I can definitely mossy ground, all this thing I can use. So as of now, let's use these three only. So there is no limit. You can increase, decrease the number of material textures you want. Like identify the landscape, because everywhere won't be same texture. This will be little rocky. Then this corners will be little more rocky, and the borders will be little greener. And then you have some basic generic texture. All those things I have to create. So identify the number of textures you want. Bring all the textures there in your material. So all of these are here. Now to blend all the, because these are three different individual textures, to blend all three, I need a coordinate called layer, landscape layer blend. Right click. So you can search for landscape. There's something called landscape layer blend. Click on this. It's just a node. You can see it's a basically material function. So this one, how to use, you can see there is no, I cannot connect anything here. So how do I use it? You can see layer, it says 0. There is no layer. So I have 1, 2, 3, plus, plus, plus 3. So this can increase like 4, 5, 6, right? Totally up to you. The first one is my ground. Ground, name it, see, name changed. Second one is my rock, name change. And third one is my kind of mossy rock. So I can name it like whatever I want. name it. So because name, make sure the name, whatever naming, you should be able to identify the thing. So create this. So RGB, ground to ground, rock to rock, and mossy ground is to mossy rock, like this. Connect it. So then select this function, control W, means duplicate. Same, remember the sequence, do not mix it. Control W again, bring it here. So this entire thing is output for base color. This entire thing is output for normal. And this, if I want, I can like keep it here and bring this thing. Oh, sorry, push this thing here. And this is my roughness. Connected everything nicely. Everything is clean. Now, so basics, my basic material structure is ready, but it's still not complete landscape material. You can see, you cannot see any output here. Reason, in layer blend preview, you can see all the previews are off. So switch on any of the preview. If you don't switch on, then also it's fine. It will work without any problem. If you switch on, at least you can see some texture. I just switched on. Now, this is like I have created texture, but this, all these textures are tileable. Landscape materials are always tileable. So I want to create a tileable map, but there is no tiling parameter here. So how to tile? For tiling, I have to go to, again, I have to search landscape coordinates. Click this. It will give you a function where you have landscape coordinate. And if you want to tile it, I can simply directly connect this to all the UVs and it will tile. But what if I want to control it dynamically and see it on screen directly, like make it real time? So for that, I need to have a multiply node and connect this to A and connect this to UV. So we have three textures. That means all three can have their three different tiling. It not necessary they will have exact same tiling. To make it randomized, to make it blend properly, I will create three sets of this thing, landscape material, landscape coordinate. So let me create a scalar parameter S, left mouse button. This is, name it tile underscore. Naming is very important. Make sure on you don't have two parameters with same name, and default value should be 1 always. So now this connects to ground. This is my ground only. So this one parameter connects to all the ground textures, your roughness, your base color, and your normal. Now select this, Control W, and change this name to rock. And this will connect to rock, rock, rock. Again, Control W, change the name. For rock is fine. Mossy underscore rock. Now connect this to all the mossy rock. Everything is connected. Now my basic setup of the material is ready. It can be super complex and it can be super easy, also simple also, because this is a very simple, like simple, this is just styling. This is my texture and connected to the nodes, like their respective node is connected. That's it. Nothing complicated, very simple. This is for landscapes, just to identify the landscape, and based on this you can paint your textures. Now once you're done with this, save it. So now we have all these parameters. Whenever you have parameters to in your material, you have to create an instance and apply that. So I'll go back to my folder, material, this one, right click, instance, and this one I have to apply here. Select the landscape. You can see landscape material. It says landscape material, so you have to create a landscape material for this. You cannot create anything and apply it here. Apply. So let it compile, because it's compiling, and by the time I'll change the light setting and make everything movable, so I don't have to bake everything. 15 5 4 3, and you can see shading changed, but still you cannot see any texture. It looks so weird, right? Reason you haven't applied any there is no information like where to apply what. There is no information yet, because it's a program, it's a coding, it's a code, right? So it needs to understand and read. You need to have a target and need to have an output. So you have applied a material, but there is no I have applied on this target, but the output I haven't defined yet. So select this, go to nodes, landscape again. Please don't crash. Oh, thank God. I don't know, since yesterday I'm facing a little issue. It's crashing multiple times. So now I can see still everything is black. I cannot really see anything here. So there is a tab called paint. Go here. Now you can see all three: ground, rock, mossy rock. You can see all those three sections, three textures you have created. You can see it here. Why this ground is grayed out? Okay. So you can see all three, but you can see it says none, 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 because there is no information here. That's why anything, nothing is visible. So how to get this information? Click on this plus, wet, blended, layer, normal, and save it in your respective folder to keep everything sorted. Select the folder and say okay. See, it will create a landscape layer, ground layer info. It's an information file. Then you can see it started compiling now. Another one. Another one. All three are here. Let's save the file, save current. This is my landscape. Save it, and then go to your map and open this one. Save. That this untitled I don't want to save. Cancel. Don't save. So you get back this thing. Now you can see some amount of texture here. If you go to ground level, zoom in really close, you can see. Let's reduce the speed of the camera. See, you can see all the textures here, but it's real highly tiled. So I need to control this thing. Now, my basic, because if you remember the mossy ground, this ground texture, I have a preview I switched on. That's why this part is visible like this. But tiling is too much, way too much. So how do I control the tiling? Double click, open the instance. Here you can see all the tile node that we have created. Ground tile. So, but this tiling works differently from your normal tiling. You have to reduce to increase the size of the texture. In other material, you have to increase to tile the texture. So it's exactly opposite of that. See, now you can see, now it looks bit generic. It doesn't, still I can see tiling, but not that much, right? Still it's, I can see all the texture. So similarly, 0.09, so let's make it 0.1, 0.1. So I just change this thing, save it. Now still, but I had three different materials, three different textures, but I can see only one. So let me switch off my fog and all so that you can see everything clearly. So now I had three textures, but only one texture is visible. So how do I control it and how do I fix it? So you can see all the ground from ground level. You can check everything nicely. But still I can see it's way too much tiled. If I want, I can reduce it. But let's see. I don't let's keep it like this. Now start painting some textures. I'll go back to landscape, paint. Now we have ground. So by default, ground is applied everywhere. So I don't want that. I want this mossy rock now. So select this. You can see I selected this one and start painting. Let it read the material. You can see it's shade, that shaded is compiling. Let it compile. Once it compiles, you can see. So now you can see I can paint this thing wherever I want. And you have the radius, smoothness, fall off, strength, everything in control. Strength is basically intensity of this texture. If I wanted really low strength, I can paint it really low. I can reduce it. And you can use pen tablet also here. And if you use pen tablet, you can use, I can paint it very easily. And I feel this point should not this one. See, I made it little bigger. So I can, now I can paint those surface. This ground also, I feel should reduce 0.03. So it should be generic. So all the games you see, open world and all these games, and you see the landscape, this is how they do it. It's a little time consuming process, but if you do it right, you will get amazing quality landscape. So I can increase the brush size and paint. This is one texture. Now suppose I want to paint this rock. So again, I'll go here, and wherever I want to paint rock, I have to click that section. So let it compile again. So number of materials, textures you have, that many times you have to compile it, and then you can start painting. So now you can see I can paint those thing. So I can blend all three textures. I feel the tiling is too much. So this rock I need to reduce. This is much better. It's loading because Unreal, whatever is visible on screen, based on that, it loads and unloads. That's how I keep everything optimized. And like if I want to back this mouse thing, I can add this green in between. So like this, I can generate really good quality texture and make everything look nice. So you can see you have terrain and you can apply all these textures. And let me go back to a select mode, player start. If you place this thing anywhere in your scene, player will generate, like we start from here, play. Now you can see it's too much fog. That is, I have to control. And you can see it's a huge landscape. It's not a small landscape. And you can see everything blends nicely. Everything blends pretty nicely. Now, suppose, uh, but everything looks kind of flat, right? There is no volume to it. It's a flat surface. But suppose you want to add little bit of some detail here. You want to add some displacement. So how do we do that? Save it. I'll go to my material, double click, open my main material. So I need to create a displacement node also. So let's see. I guess this grass one, does it have any displacement? Yes. Let's drag drop this displacement here. Same sequence. First grass. Second one is your rock. So I'll select this. I'll check. Rock also have a displacement map. Bring it here. Keep the same sequence. and third one was this mossy this thing. So this for maybe suppose I don't want this mossy this thing, this displacement. Suppose it's not required, or I can keep it also. This will also look nice. Let's use this. So we can use real-time displacement in Unreal, but there is a catch. Displacements are bit heavy on system, because displacement basically generating mesh, so it will be heavy on the system. So same thing, connect this all this thing. You don't have to create a new second one, because tiling needs to match. Okay, all three of them connected. Now this layer blend, control W, bring it here. But for displacement to work properly, you have to do two more things. You can see by default wall displacement is off, and you need to add tessellation. So select this thing, this main material, scroll down. There is something called tessellation. Tessellation. By default, no tessellation. Tessellation means it basically tessellate the model. It add more topology, more loops to model. Click on this. You can use flat P and any one of them, doesn't matter. And one thing you have to make sure, crack free displacement. You have to switch on this. Now you can see both the things are active now. So this tessellation, right click on this, promote to parameter. Default value is 0. It's a parameter, so I can modify it in instance directly. Now I have this displacement. So to work displacement in a nicer way, better way, you have to connect this output to a normal. So search for vertex normal. This is vertex color, not the vertex color, vertex normal. So this parameter you have to connect. You have to connect to your displacement, then only it will generate properly. I'll show this like why I'm adding this in a separate model. Use a multiply, connect this here and connect this here. Control W, Control W. Now output goes to ground, rock, and mossy this thing. So tessellation by default, let's make it like by default I want to make it 20. It will increase the poly count by 20 times and connect this to world displacement. That's it. Rest everything is same. Only one thing, you need to add a vertex normal, because based on the direction of the vertex it will displace. Otherwise it will create like intersection and problem and issues. Once you're done with this, save. Save. You can see if you zoom in now, let's see any corner, nothing fancy is happening here. Close it, go to here, it's recompiling everything. Just double click, open the material. Now you can see tessellation multiplier also here. Oh, one more thing I missed. That is something I forgot to add, displacement intensity. The intensity of all the displacement, I forgot to add that. So to control the output of displacement, so each and every displacement can have their own intensity. So this is your output of displacement. Use another multiplier. This is your input and this goes to your output. And to control this, scalar parameter, S, left mouse button, and this is my ground. Ground. Oh, underscore ground displacement. And by default value, I can give 1. So it will, or maybe I can make it 0. So displacement, I can do it in real time. Just duplicate this, control W, bring it here, connect this here, connect to drop, and change the name. Rock, control W, change the name. Connected. So now I have displacement output, that I have displacement intensity and plus tessellation, all of the things. Now save the file. It will recompile everything again. So you can see one by one, I can add more nodes and make the shader really complicated. It did save because it was compiling, and in between I have modified the shader, so you have to recompile the entire thing. So that's why it's taking a little more longer. See, it's started compiling. Close this. Now you can see all these extra options you got here. Let it compile. So with the help of displacement and tessellation, you can generate amazing quality landscape very easily. So, so it looks pretty big. So what I can do in between, I can reduce the size of my landscape. Delete, delete, delete. So that like compile, like my load on the system will be less. Like click and drag, it will delete whatever you select. Now let's say like small terrain. I just reduce the size. So the workload will be less on the system. I can save the landscape. It's compiling. You can see shading and all these things are changing. Slowly, slowly, it will read everything, compile everything. Shader compilation is a really complex task, so it takes a little time. So more nodes you add to your shader, your material basically. Okay, there is a difference between material and shader. Materials are basically texture, your output based on the texture map, and shader have their own property. Like it's a landscape shader. So landscape material, it has landscape have its own property because I have connected those landscape parameters. So it have its own property. So the shader have their own property, and material is basically output depends upon the texture. Quickly compile, taking so much time. Okay, by the time it's compiling, I'll just take attendance. um, 、 except Sai Supraj, everybody's present. Okay, updated. 34, almost compiled. So everything compiled. Now, if I go really closer, we can see I really can't see any displacement happening. So now I'll open my instance and keep it here, side corner. I have all these options. So this rock, I want to displace this. Slight change. So tessellation, I have to increase. See, too much. It's creating cracks. Now, ground displacement. I can add and morph this displacement. So like this, you can see, now you can see all those cracks nicely. It generates shadows and everything. Based on the distance from the camera, it will generate everything. You can generate all these cracks, depth, and blend everything. So you can tessellate also and use displacement nicely. And wherever you have this thing, let's see, paint more landscape, paint. I want to paint this thing. So this is a flat surface. It will work beautifully here because there will be less cracks. All right. You can see surface also changing. You can see it's creating all these displacements everywhere. So create all this displacement based on your this thing. So like this you can create and you can control things very easily with this. You just have to find a correct value. So test it out in one section and then apply everywhere and check it. You can find better textures also and apply them and generate really high quality, high detailed landscape like this. And you have to blend. If I hit play, so you can see the characters going under this. Reason I've applied displacement on this. So this ground, if I switch it off, will land on the ground. So you can see I'm going closer. It's displacing things. There's too much displacement. It's displacement is way too strong. That means so I have to reduce that. It's too much. See, creating all these shapes and based on distance, camera calculates everything. It's way too much. So displacement is way too strong. So that is something I have to fix. So I have to reduce those things and like this is values are like way too strong. Maybe 100, 100.
So
Yes.
can we add a collision based on the displacement after this displacement happens?
Then you have to create a collision mesh for that. You have to
Okay.
generate a collision mesh for that. Yeah, we can do that also. So like this, you can generate everything and then you can play. So it makes your life easier. It gives you better result. If you add it properly and create terrain and generate things, and there is a water system also there in Unreal now. So I'll show that also in next class. So like in maybe we are not using this in our current project, but you should know all these things. So I'll explain all these extra things. So in next project, we can use it. Okay. So I have updated attendance. So class time also over. I've had the class. So okay. I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye bye.
Yes. Bye.